Freedom to Marry, my organization, is the gay and non-gay partnership working to win marriage equality nationwide. And the idea of Freedom to Marry is that no one organization is going to be the one-stop marriage shop. No one organization alone is going to be able to end exclusion from marriage nationwide. It's too big. What we needed in our movement, I felt, upon leaving Lambda, was what I used to call the four multis. We needed to understand that the fight was multi-year. It was not going to happen overnight. We couldn't measure success by, did we win this month? It was going to have to go for the long haul. It had to be multi-partner, meaning that it had to be able to bring many organizations together, each doing their part. It had to be multi-state, because marriage, in the first instance in the United States, is regulated by the states. You don't get married by the authority of Congress. You get married by the authority of California, of New York, of Utah. So there were going to be battlefronts in ultimately all 50 states. And it had to be multi-methodology. The work has to be multi-methodology. In other words, we have to have litigation. We have to have legislation and lobbying. We have to have public education and outreach. We have to have organizing and ally recruitment. We have to have funders at the table and involved. We had to find a way to bring all these different methodologies, all these different constituencies, all these different teams in all these different places over a many period of time to be able to work together. And thus it wasn't going to be about one organization, but nevertheless having an organization whose job it would be to help each partner do its part better, to help them communicate with each other. So it's not just a battle in Connecticut, a case in Iowa, a lobbying effort for a law in Washington state, but rather that they're all understood as part of something bigger and larger over this multi-year fight. And being able to then take the work that each of them is doing, the successes they all have, the communication we've been able to achieve, and essentially present it as a whole to new potential allies, new activists, new funders, as something that they could look at as something around a shared strategy that they could be buying the whole, even as they support parts. And Freedom to Marry was designed as a new kind of organization that could work with all the existing, not duplicating or displacing any, but instead making that whole greater than the sum of the parts. And that's the work of Freedom to Marry.